Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, May 21st, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame here of the ES. And from this vantage point, it appears like the ES is poised for major upside expansion here. In the previous session, we had price push through the midpoint. Remember that midpoint was very, very important. Price pushed through it and closed higher. I mentioned that 9 times out of 10 when you reestablish acceptance above that midpoint, you take out the high over the course of a day or two. And in the previous session, didn't quite get to that high. Got very, very close. The high was 75.75. The prior day, the high was 76.25. So it was 2 ticks off the high, but very, very close. Today, we've pulled back in overnight and pre-market trading right to that midpoint right here. That is the previous session's midpoint, and that midpoint retest right there is providing a bit of a launch point. Midpoint 29.42s. Today's low is 29.41 half so far, and this is what it looks like just before you see some sort of big expansion ahead. Above 29.80 opens up 3K above and perhaps beyond. In the 15-minute time frame, there's a bit of a rounded type of bottom behavior there. Again, if it can stay above the 29.55 level, we could be looking at a move up toward the highs of 76.25 with a shot to see further expansion. Now keep in mind, we do have above 29.80 has 3K, but there are upside key levels as high as 3,100 to 31.64. So those are the upside key levels there based off the low of the recent pullback here, or breakout point. Okay, that is the ES. Let's take a look here of here's the NQ. Now the NQ has gotten a nice rotation higher here. Again, this was the buy the dip opportunity where we bought in on those lows and have taken profits along the way here. Again, this pullback after this upside day here also occurs off the high from 2 sessions ago, making that high support, and that could again be a nice buying opportunity. The previous high back here is 94.17, so basically holding above 9400, which was the breakout point yesterday. 94.10 is today's low, and again this could lead to more upside ahead from the current breakout point low here. We could have upside targets into 98.50 to 10K. So the upside target puts you at 10,100 basically, and that would be a new high. So already we have targets that are starting to show beyond this previous all-time high right here. And if we do get beyond that zone, I'd be very cautious for distribution above that high over the course of a month or so, because that could open up a major distribution phase back down, or distribution that leads to a markdown phase back down in the range. So again, right now still forging higher until proven otherwise. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil, and we're gonna go continuous now on the CL, since the July contract is now the front contract. What we've seen is a major expansive phase out of that narrow 7-day range. We were looking for a push up to 35s. We've gotten today as high as 34.66, and for all intents and purposes have fulfilled that 35. We're almost there already, and from the midpoint of the previous month's range. So if you look right here, this is the previous month's range from that high down to this low. That gives us our PivotBoss pivot edges. You have your previous close, your midpoint, and prices pushed through the previous high. This is your 25% extension beyond the previous month's range, and so again that puts you right into 35s as well. That's going to be a very important level there. That's 34.79. You can see this is one of those rare times where the pivots actually go negative here based off the prior range, because it was such a significant move. But in the meantime here, any pullback, even as deep as 29 here, could be a buying opportunity for a continuation higher as this thing tries for 40 perhaps. So right now, this has appeared to be a major change of bias in this market. We've had a steady continuation higher throughout the month, and 35 is the next major target. If we pull back off of 35, a pullback to 29 could provide a major buying opportunity for a shot at pushing through 35 and into 40 on the next rotation up. Major gap perhaps to fill above there. Okay, let's take a look now at gold here. So here's a look at gold. This one has seen major movement off the lows. It didn't look significant, but that was a pretty solid move here from below 1700 to 1775, and pretty solid move all the way up. Bearish outside day here, price holding that midpoint of that zone, but really we still have a very soft, gentle uptrend that's going on, perhaps an ascending wedge that is developing. Ascending wedges tend to break to the flat side, or the upside in this case, and that would lead to a continuation to the upside here, to new highs, perhaps into that 1800 once and for all. So at the moment, we are seeing support hold here at this zone right there. That's about 1730. 1730 is going to be the key level to watch there. At the moment, there is that level looks vulnerable to a stop run. We do have a very significant rejection that has occurred off the highs with that box reversal, a push down. 1754 continues to be a significant key level there that the market has held. And since we haven't gotten back above those two zones, lower highs, especially in the 60-minute chart, suggest that we could run stops through 1730. So a break through 1730 again opens up a return back down towards 1700 and the lower part of the range, 1680 or so. Holding 1730 could bounce this thing back up toward the 54 and 65 zone. But until we get through 65s here, we're still stuck in this range. And again, 1730 appears vulnerable here from the 60-minute time frame. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.